withdrawal cases continue. Ready, Cindy? Everybody ready? Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Bristol Township Zoning Hearing Board. I'd like to get started by standing and remove your hats for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, let me introduce you to a few people here. To my left, Solicitor Keith Bidleymeyer, Director of L&I, Bob McTeague, our stenographer Cindy Oliveira, and Mr. Secretary, call the board, please.
Sure. Gerard Lycon.
Here.
Mark DeMarcus.
Here.
Jim McMahon.
Here.
Colleen Dunn. Ed Murphy here.
Okay, so for the record, number one on the agenda, I'm going to read for the record a letter that was received. Our client, 65 Holding LLC, owners of 726 Old Orchard Avenue, have asked that we withdraw the application for the hearing before the Bristol Township Zoning Hearing Board. They do not, at this time, plan to pursue the construction of the porch roof on the rear of their property. Okay, that's that. And if anybody's here for number 8 on the agenda, this is also a letter that our solicitor received. Good morning, Mr. Bidleymeyer. I am respectfully requesting that the matter regarding the above-mentioned property please be listed on September Bristol Township Zoning Hearing Board agenda so that my client can obtain an appropriate document from the potential landlord for the board's review. And that property is 1970 Veterans Highway, Levittown. So what's the pleasure of the board? I need a motion for a continuance, please.
I'll give a motion to continue it.
I need a second.
I'll second.
Call the board, please.
Colleen Dunn.
Yes.
Ed Murphy, yes. Jim McMahon.
Yes.
Mark DeMarcus.
Yes.
Gerard Lycon.
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Mr. Chairman, I received 2 emails from the solicitor in regards to that application. If we can just attach both of her emails as exhibits to the application. Thank you.
So moved. Okay, so let's get right to the agenda. So we're going to start with number 2, Anthony Ty and Wendy Lang, 57 Holly Drive, Levittown. Please come on up.
So you have the proof of your neighbor notifications. I see that on top, and then also the proof the property was posted 2 weeks. Okay. Do you know the date that it was posted? Yes, pull that up so when she swears you in, I'll ask a couple questions about the date and the picture. There's 3 copies there. July 28th? Okay, so since she swears you in, I'll ask you a couple questions.
Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
It's green. Yep. Okay.
Just one statement.
Yep. Good evening, everyone.
Hang on, before you start, ma'am, you show me a picture. Could you state your name for the record?
Wendy Lang.
Okay, and you showed me a picture showing the property was posted, and then you advised that the property was posted on July 28th, 2025. Is that accurate?
Yes, accurate.
Okay, and that placard stayed up there for 2 weeks?
Yes.
Okay, great, thank you.
You can,
Yes, my name is Anthony Ty. This is my wife, Wendy. We're here to request a variance on the application for a fencing permit to erect a 6-foot vinyl fence along the front yard of our property. And my wife has passed out printouts of some slides for what we put together. So on the second slide titled Purpose of this hearing, we took a screenshot of what we found for the zoning rules for chapter 205-134.a, which was the original restriction stating that a fence in the front yard can be no higher than 4 feet. But we saw some exceptions found in Part B that we believe we may qualify for. Under, I think that's slide 3, sorry, can you? Okay. Our property is a corner lot, which there's a section of the fence that we want to establish that is not the front facade of the house. And it should not impede any sort of public sidewalk or obstruct the site triangle as far as we could tell and from what we've measured. So I think it should still qualify underneath the section B of that zoning law. On the following slide, we have basically a comparison of what we found from the online zoning laws, kind of depicting what's a clear site triangle, and a bird's eye view image of our property. And in the yellow, those yellow arrows is where we intend to erect the 6-foot fencing. And the red triangle shown in the picture is what we believe should be the clear site triangle, and it shouldn't really obstruct any oncoming, like either walking or driving traffic. It's pretty far from that curb. And on the following slide, if you flip over the page, there are 2 large shrubs and bushes that kind of do obstruct, and we intend to remove those. We've actually consulted with our neighbors before that the fencing, they're okay with the height that we propose. They're more bothered by the shrubbery. That's more of an issue than the fencing on either side. But we do intend to remove that, and we are hoping that with the fencing there, any further like growth or otherwise would be more contained, because the one that's closer to the perspective of the camera does protrude past our chain link fence, and we have to cut it quite often. And I think that, in the future, it should be more of a restrictive bound for anyone who's walking down the sidewalk. We do have pictures of the zoning yellow piece of paper that we've kind of hung up on either side, just as the proposed construction site. And if you flip the slide over, there are essentially what we intend to get, which is just plain vinyl plank fencing that's kind of in line with the rest of the aesthetic of the neighborhood. A lot of our neighbors around do have that same kind of style of fencing, and I think it would help to kind of establish a cohesive visual aesthetic to the neighborhood, and maybe kind of like raise property value overall, rather than chain link. And we also have like dogs, and in that area, there's like kind of like the national historic or local historic site, Bolton Mansion, that regularly hosts the like events for the community, like food trucks kind of come by, and that happens pretty much every weekend or two across the summer. And there's a lot of walking and driving traffic, and we do kind of get concerned when people like peer into our yard, or like sometimes like kids like antagonize our dogs and it cause them to bark. So we do want to make sure that both sides are safe. Our dogs are capable of jumping over the 4-foot fence. They don't do it often, but we do want to make sure that it's for the safety of our own family and as well as others around. That is pretty much the majority of everything. Please let me know if you have any thoughts or concerns. Thank you.
Anybody have any questions?
I have one.
Yes.
I don't see a clear easement letter from the Water Wastewater Authority. I do see that you do have a copy of your plot plan and it says permit. Do you have the clearance letter from them?
Yes. I would think it was attached, but I did go Apologies. My wife should be bringing it up now. Yes, you're welcome.
Anybody else have any questions?
Yeah, I did drive out there and look at this property. Sidewalk does sit far from the street. The fence does sit back a little bit. As far as the site triangle, there's no problem with this. I drove. Only problem I see is your bush that's sitting on the corner, that's in the way. But it has nothing to do with your fence.
Right.
But this fence has no effect that I could see personally with the triangle, the site triangle. I think it seems to be okay.
Anybody else?
Mr. Chairman, if you could just mark the sewer easement application as A3. Thank you.
So moved. All right, anybody, public comment from the audience like to come up for or against this application? Bob, anything to add?
Nothing to add, Jim.
All right, I need, what's the pleasure of the board?
I'll make a motion to approve as long as they remove the bushes.
Okay,
I'll second it.
you guys fine with that? You
Yep.
said you were gonna you stated you were gonna remove the bushes,
Yep,
correct?
we already contracted someone to do the bushes soon.
So I got a motion, I got a second. Can I call the board, please?
Mark DeMarcus.
Yes.
Gerard Lycon.
Yes.
Jim McMahon.
Yes.
Colleen Dunn.
Yes.
Ed Murphy, yes. Good luck, guys.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Okay, Marquez Garcia Tino, 19 Inlet Road, Levittown.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And
One, when we phone her, as soon as I call her, she said, I'm not signing anything, so I just have to know.
all right, do you have proof the property was posted also? Did you put the placard on it?
You can leave, yeah. You'll be contacted in 30 days if there's no objection.
Thank you.
That's the phone calls.
Okay, and what was the date that it was posted?
It was as soon as they gave me the
Was it,
post,
was it 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Okay, 2 weeks
More
before
than
tonight.
2 weeks, I believe.
Okay.
As soon as they gave it to me, I went over they're posted.
Okay.
It is posted.
Okay, so when, you go back to the podium, and then she's gonna swear you in. I'm gonna ask you some questions on the record.
All right.
Yes. Yes.
My name is Marcus Garcia Tineo. I live in I'm sorry. I live in 19 Inlet Road, Levittown, PA, 19057.
Marcus, before we get started, Bob, I was looking at the plans here. Doesn't he need a side yard setback on this too?
I was gonna ask the
I don't
same
see
question.
Yeah, so
anything, I just see impervious surface. I don't see anything for a side yard setback.
denial was for, the side yard setback of the garage structure, Jim,
Right.
and then, he did also get denied for impervious surface.
Okay.
Also get denied for impervious surface.
So we can't move forward
No.
without the side yard setback on this, correct?
He did not include that in this, application.
Okay.
Mr. Tina, were you aware of the side yard setback on this? The application only states impervious surface here.
Yeah, well, I submit the whole floor plans for what I wanted to do. I probably, I mistakenly didn't put it in. I didn't, I forgot to put it in the garage. That's why when I submit all my paperwork, all my plans, and they approve it, I thought that I had the permit to build everything. When I started to build, they stopped me, and then, that's why I'm here.
So, what can we do here, Keith?
Yeah, so Mr. Teneo, in order to proceed on the application in total, in order to get all the relief that you would otherwise need, you have to submit the application or submit, I guess, an amended application to include that side yard setback. Because right now, your application, as the chairperson stated, only reflects impervious surface request, all right? So theoretically, you could proceed on the impervious and then come back next month and start all over again and request a side yard setback. I think what makes sense is for you to ask for a continuance of this application, submit another application for a side yard setback, and then come back for all the relief that you're seeking, so the board can hear your entire matter at one time, instead of hearing it piecemeal. Does that make sense?
It makes sense, but, well, what I thought, what was, I'm sorry. So you said that I got denied on the application?
Yeah, you were denied for the side yard setback of the garage and the impervious surface calculation as well.
I never received that letter.
It was the same letter that had the impervious calculation on it.
So regardless,
Yeah.
regardless of what happened, it was only advertised, and your application only states impervious surface, so we can't proceed on the side yard setback for the garage, okay? Because you have to submit the application, it has to go to the township, has to be published in the Bucks County Courier Times, you gotta notify your neighbors of the side yard setback request, and then the property has to be posted for the side yard. It's only been posted for impervious. So you can't proceed on the side yard setback for the garage.
All right, well, yeah, I have no problem to submit all my paperwork. That's why I'm here, because, I started this construction, and I submit all the paperwork that I thought that I needed it, but, then I realized that we missed some information, so.
All right, so you want a continuance for next month or the following month? September?
No,
or
yeah,
October?
for next month, as soon as possible, yeah, of course.
All right. You heard Mr. Tino. Can I get a motion to approve continuance for September, please?
I'll give a motion to extend that till next month.
Second, please.
I'll second.
Call the board.
Gerard Lycon.
Yes.
Mark DeMarcus. Yes. Jim McMahon.
Yes.
Colleen Dunn.
Yes.
Ed Murphy, yes.
All right, thank you.
So they're gonna give you new ones, you're gonna have to re-notify the neighbors, because it's gonna be
Yeah, I
different
see.
than this. Okay, and they'll give you instructions at the township.
All right.
Okay, all right.
So I will have to come back tomorrow?
You'll come back, go to the township, submit a new application, they'll give you all that paperwork, and you'll come back next month.
All right.
Yes, sir. Is this in reference to this application? Yes, it is. Yes. Yeah.
Are you satisfied then, or?
Yes, absolutely. Yep. Okay, next up, Turkish American Muslim Cultural Association, Holly Drive, Cinnaminson, please come on up. You may proceed.
All right. Good evening, Board. Bryce McGuigan here on behalf of the Turkish American Muslim Cultural Association, or TAMCA. They are the owners of the property located at 541 Levittown Parkway. By way of background, the property at issue is more or less 1 acre in size, part of the R2 zoning district, and is currently improved by an existing 2,000 square foot structure with an accessory with basically a 600 square foot trailer next to it. If you look at the satellite image that is somewhat, yes, is on the board, big board here. You see in the center you have the existing mosque structure. Then you have here to the left the trailer that is kind of connected to it, and that's about 600 square feet. There's a temporary tent right here to the right, which we'll get into in a moment. TAMCA is proposing the replacement today of this trailer to the left with a formal building addition that will be approximately 1,000 square feet in size and will run the entire length of the structure. As a result of this proposed addition, we need relief to allow an additional 0.6% impervious surface, as well as parking relief to maintain the existing off-street parking on site. Now, the purpose of this addition is rather specific. It's not meant to increase the size of the mosque itself, not meant to accommodate additional worshipers at service. It's not meant to offer any additional services that are not already offered on the property. Rather, it's meant to provide an indoor space for events that currently happen outdoors. And again, if approved, it'll hug the building line that's existing. It'll abide by existing setbacks that are currently existing on the property as well. But essentially what it's meant for is to help during the Ramadan celebration that happens every year at the property. So Ramadan takes approximately 30 days or so in terms of the religious calendar year, and currently congregants come to the property to break their fast every evening, and there's a celebration towards the end of the holiday where congregants come to the property and celebrate. Now, the issue is there is not significant indoor, or sufficient rather, indoor space to allow that to happen. So, Bob, can we go back to the first page for me? So right now, thank you very much, they have to use this temporary tent to accommodate people and allow them the space to break their fast or to celebrate with the rest of the congregation. Obviously, it's not an ideal solution, but for years it's worked generally just fine. The problem is, and this is something that I candidly didn't know until I filed this application, is that the Muslim religious calendar follows a lunar calendar, which only has 354 days in the year, not 365. So because of that, because it's a little shorter, every year the holidays move up by 11 days. So about 10 years ago, Ramadan was celebrated in the summer. This year rather, it was in March. Next year it's going to be in February. And over the next however many years, it's going to happen during the winter months. And obviously having a vast amount of congregants celebrating outdoors during the colder time of year is something that the association really can't have for health, safety, and general comfort reasons. Candidly also, it was also a decision by the association for some time now where they wanted to make this change and have something a little bit more formal and presentable on site. So to that end, what they're proposing now is a new space that'll be connected to the rest of the mosque for this limited purpose. So as I mentioned before, we need relief for impervious surface and parking to make this happen. I would respectfully submit that the impervious surface variance of 0.6%, based on what's there now, is de minimis in nature and relatively minor for the site, considering the size of the site as well. And then when it comes to parking, even though we're requesting relief to maintain what's existing now, there will be no additional parking load on site as a result of this improvement. Now, I will say, and I'm sure the township is aware of this, that during the Ramadan holiday, especially during that end of holiday gathering, there are parking issues on site. And fortunately, Bristol Township assists in having Bristol Township police officers help to conduct traffic more or less and to help us through this time of year. But it happens every year, and whether we have this improvement, this addition or not, it's still going to be the same issue during that limited portion of the calendar year. So with that, I would like to bring up Mehmet Ishik, I-S-I-K. Mehmet is a member of the Board of Directors here of TAMCA. We have most of the other board with us here this evening as well. Mehmet is also very familiar to the township, as he is a longtime Bristol Township business owner, having owned and operated the Dallas Diner for many years until he sold the property a few years back. So unless there are any preliminary questions, I'd like to have Mehmet come up here and attest to my statements and answer any questions that the board may have.
Anybody?
Great.
Okay.
Good evening, board members. Our Mehmet, M-E-H-M-E-T. Last name is Isaac, I-S-I-K.
Raise your right hand, please. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Mehmet, were you able to hear all of my statements that I made to the board a few moments
Yes, I
ago?
have. Yeah.
Were they true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
All right, would you be willing to adopt my statements to the board as your testimony this evening?
Well, yes, sir.
Is there anything else you'd like to add to before we open it up for questions?
Everything has been said by you. I have no other.
Perfect. So with that, if the board has any
If you have
questions.
any question, I'll be willing to answer it.
Perfect. So that'll conclude the applicant's presentation, and we'll open up to any questions that any board member may have.
Really? That's all you got, Bryce?
Do you want me to keep going? I get paid by the hour here, Jim.
Yeah, you get paid by the word. Anybody have any questions?
I just have one concern. With the, if approved with the additional space, will you be adding any facilities, kitchen, washrooms, things like that?
The washroom, we already have the washroom and
Okay.
the small kitchen, and that is, we have no addition to that.
And besides your annual celebration, will you have alternate times throughout the year where you expect to have a crowd as large as you do during Ramadan, where you would need
Except Ramadan, we do not have, as you see when you pass by, we hardly anybody there during except the Friday. Friday is our, like your Sunday, everybody get at middays goes to the mosque. That's the only days. And when we have a traffic issue, we usually contact the Bristol Township Police. Thanks for them, and they've been helping us out throughout the years. That's all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Comments, concerns? Bob? Audience participation, anybody from the audience like to come up for or against this project? Yeah, come on up.
Hi, do I need to let you know my name? Yes. Okay, it's Doa, D-O-G-A. D-O-G-A? Yep, last name is C-A-N-C-A. And I'm the women's branch president for TAMCA.
Raise your right hand.
Yes.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth?
Yes, I do. I'm the women's branch president for TAMCA. I just wanted to add on, you perfectly said everything that we've kind of had an issue with, but I just wanted to lay down the importance of the mosque. To your question, do we have a lot of people that come in throughout the 12 months? We don't. During Ramadan, it's 30 days. However, we do have 3 other annual holidays that consist of prior places to worship. At this point, we're kind of stacked onto each other. So it would be very beneficial if we did have that lot and we did extend, and it was a little bit more presentable so we can host important people like yourselves as well as the community. And that's all I wanted to say. So thank you. I appreciate it.
Anybody else like to come up and make? Okay. Pleasure of the board, please.
I'd like to make a motion for it.
Need a second.
I'll second.
Call the board.
Gerard Lycon.
Yes.
Mark DeMarcus.
Yes.
Jim McMahon.
Yes.
Colleen Dunn.
Yes.
Ed Murphy, yes. Good luck.
Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Okay, let's keep it moving here. Lawless Properties LLC, 710 Cedar Avenue, Croydon. Please come on up. Okay.
All right.
Go ahead, Bryce.
All right. Good evening, Board. Bryce McGuigan again, here representing Lawless Properties LLC this time. Lawless Properties LLC is owned by Stephen Lawless, and it's the owner of 706 Cedar Avenue, which is the property trimmed in blue that you have up there on the screen. By way of background, it's approximately 0.14 acres and is zoned R3 residential. Currently what's there is you have a residential use to the front. It's mixed use existing, and there is a non-conforming auto repair shop to the rear. Stephen bought this property relatively recently in October of last year. He lives actually right next door. If you're looking here, the property underneath it at 710, that's his home. And for years, he's based his business, Lawless HVAC, essentially, Lawless Heating and Cooling, an HVAC company, has been there for over 5 years. When he bought this property, he bought it with the intent of moving his business to what is the current auto repair shop. Now, Stephen unfortunately went about this, made some improvements, moved the business without pulling permits ahead of time, and so that's one of the reasons that we're here tonight. Now, I will say that fortunately, some of the material improvements to the site, while not permitted, did not require any zoning relief, and Stephen has since submitted the appropriate permits, and I believe that some of the work was recently inspected this past Friday. However, the business itself, because it's technically a residential property, needs relief in order to move to this site. So at the end of the day, we are here asking for a single use variance related to the business to change the existing non-conforming auto repair shop to a privately owned small HVAC company. Now, Bob, if you could do me a favor and slide to the next page for me. All right, so this is partly what was there previously. You can see the three repair bays, and then in the front here to the right, you see the existing residential portion of the structure. Can you go to the next page, please? And just different views. This is to the left is the view from the street, and then to the right is another view of the rear of the property. And Bob, you can go to the last one. These are some of the changes that Steve made that were recently inspected by the township. If you look at the left picture, that again is a view from the street, and the right is a view of the rear of the property and some of the modifications, again, that are subject today. And essentially, you know, even though we're asking for a use variance, what we're proposing tonight is something that we think fits a little bit better in a residential community, especially where there are residences located right next to it and to the rear. You know, the shop itself, it's basically just going to be an office and storage for Lawless Heating and Cooling. There's no work that happens on site. It's basically, like I said, a place to do the paperwork and to store some equipment and materials. It is not publicly accessible, and especially compared to a auto repair shop where you're dealing with potential customers, lack of parking for customers, and together with potential for nuisance, we think that what we're proposing is something that would fit with the community far better. Additionally, Steve, like I said, lives next to this property to the left, so he's the property that would be most impacted by this, and obviously he doesn't have an issue with that. And he also spoke to his neighbor on the other side, who was encouraged by some of the changes that he made to the property because it was candidly needed a little bit of TLC to upgrade it to what you see today. So with that, I have Steve Lawless here with me tonight. Steve will be more than happy to come up here and answer a few of my questions before answering any questions that the board may have. Steve?
Raise your right hand, please. Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth?
Yes, I do.
All right. Steve, have you had the chance to hear all of my statements that I made to the board?
Yes.
Are they true and correct to
Yes.
the best of your knowledge?
It's a plumbing company, though, not HVAC.
Whoops, sorry about that. Close enough. So, Steve, do me a favor. Everything else apart from that, true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Correct.
All right. Would you be willing to adopt my statements to the board?
Yes.
All right, as your testimony tonight?
Yes.
Now, with regard to your business, obviously, you own the company?
Yes.
All right, and while you do have some employees, is anyone going to be working from here 9 to 5 every day of the week?
No. It's really just like storage for material and equipment. That's it.
And do you have a vehicle?
Yes.
And that will be stored at this property as well?
Yes.
All right. And for how many years now has your business been based out of your property right next door?
5 years?
All right. And have there been any issues or concerns with your local neighbors?
No.
Has there been any practical issue with your business being operated from your home, literally right next door?
No.
All right. So with that, the proposal tonight is to essentially get rid of the auto repair shop and to move your business to this location, correct?
Correct.
All right. And now you obviously did some work on this property and you didn't necessarily have permits before you started and completed that work. Is that right?
Yes. We got the permits. It got inspection. We got the engineer drawings. That was all cleared up on Friday.
All right. And moving forward, if you have to handle anything from the administrative end with the township, obviously you know you have to do that, correct?
Yes. So I spoke to Carla because we re-stuccoed the building and cleaned it all up and redid the driveway. And we were, I asked her what we needed permits for, and she was fine with what we were doing, and what we got a permit for was it.
And like I said, obviously, if you have to do anything else from the administrative end, you know you have to do that and you're committed to doing that.
Yes.
All right. So with that, if the board has any questions, we'll be more than happy to address those at this time.
Okay, so, here we go again. You need permits for everything, right? Just so everybody knows, everybody's aware. You need permits for everything. If you don't know what you need a permit for, call the township, right? Mr. Lawless, let me ask you a question. Your property that you live in, did you have stuff done to that property too and didn't get
It was,
permits?
the driveway, I had to get the variance for impervious surface, to
Right.
park out front.
Yeah, that's what I thought, yeah. Okay, was that all cleared up?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
He takes that last name pretty serious, Jim.
Huh?
He takes
He
that
takes
last
that
name
name pretty seriously, yeah, right, that's what I'm thinking, yeah, sure, Lawless, I get it.
It comes back to me.
Okay.
We put the cart
We're not
before the
gonna, we're
horse a
not
little
gonna be
bit.
lawless no more though, right, Mr. Lawless? Okay. All right, so, the apartments are up,
No,
people-
they're not occupied right now.
Okay.
It's just like cosmetic. We just wanted to get the outside cleaned up because the building was like deteriorating. The roof was leaking. It was,
I live in Croydon my whole
yeah, it
life,
was.
I know exactly
I'm
where
sure you
that
drive
building's
by.
at.
It was in
Yeah.
terrible shape. The parking out front was just crumbling rocks everywhere. So I wanted to really get that cleaned up because it was bad.
Okay. Anybody else have any questions for Mr. Lawless?
Oh, boy. Yes, I do. You did a great job. The place looks amazing.
Thank you.
Obviously, you were here before about the impervious for your driveway. But part of that, you're supposed to remove the shed in the back and remove the blacktop. Well, it looks like you added the blacktop, and the shed looks like it's not there.
The shed's gone.
Right.
The blacktop there was the existing to next door.
Well, you own next door.
No, on 706.
Want to chime in here, Bob?
Yeah, he removed the portion that he was supposed to remove in the front yard.
Pardon me?
He removed what he was supposed to in the front. It was,
Well, the front's all concrete.
yeah, there was 2 portions that he took up that,
On the right side?
no, the right side was the previous owner's property. He doesn't own any, or he didn't at that time own any of the right side.
Okay,
So that right side wasn't in question at that time.
all right. Well, but it does look great. And I did talk, I stopped there and talked to you before about it.
Yeah.
You
I
did a
remember.
great job, looks great, but
Thank you.
I thought you were supposed to remove all that blacktop and the shed. The shed's gone, blacktop's there. Looks good, but I know we have a water problem in Croydon, that's why I'm saying that.
Yeah. So when I spoke to Carla after the permit thing, I asked her about removing and replacing for next door because that was 100%, the whole building was blacktop around it, but there was
Yeah.
trees growing in, breaking it up, so she said I didn't need a permit to remove and replace anything there.
Okay. Looks great.
Thank you.
Just have a little water problem in Croydon. I want to keep an eye on that.
No impervious surface variance on this property.
Okay, anybody else? Bob, anything to add? Anybody from the audience like to come up for or against this project? All right. It's a pleasure of the board, please.
I'll make a motion for it, for the use variance to be changed.
I need a second.
I'll second.
Call the board.
Gerard Lycon,
Yes.
Mark DeMarcus.
Yes.
Jim McMahon,
No.
Colleen Dunn,
Yes.
Ed Murphy, yes.
Thank you very much.
Okay, next up, 2924 Veterans Highway, LLC, 112 Monroe Street. Please come on up. Oh, I skipped number 6, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, number 6 I have crossed out already. How did I do that? Property Perfection Incorporated, 130 Elmwood Avenue, Feasterville. I'm sorry, please come on up. Go ahead, Mike.
All right, good evening, Mike McGinnis from Begley Carlin, here tonight on behalf of Property Perfection. I do have Joe Kearns with me. My client was the developer of a 7-lot subdivision at Broadway and Mile. We are here, as you can see on the screen before you, pertaining specifically to Lot 2, which is at the corner of Broadway and Mile. Property is zoned in the R1 district. This lot area is just over 11,000 square feet. And the home, which has been built, is just over 1,400 square feet in terms of the footprint. My client is here tonight to request what I would suggest is a de minimis dimensional variance for an additional encroachment in the front yard, and in particular, the front yard closest to Broadway Avenue, which has a 31.2-foot front yard setback when a 35-foot front yard setback is required. So just to give the board a little bit of information about this, we went through the process, we got approval at council, the homes are under construction, and my client submitted a uniformed architectural plan to the township for every lot except for one of the lots, which was a flag lot, which would depict the construction of the same home on 6 of the lots. This was then constructed, and as we got to the end of the process, when we have to submit an as-built, it was noted that because of the double frontage nature of this lot with Broadway and Mile, the actual building envelope was a little bit narrower than with the rest of the lots. So it certainly was not intentional. It functions essentially as a side yard, but is technically a front yard. So that's what we're here for tonight. The home is constructed, it's built. It was a oversight, obviously, just with noting the double frontage component of this lot. But for all intents and purposes, again, everything else is compliant, and again, I would suggest that it's de minimis variance that we're looking for. And with that, I would like to just have Mr. Kearns come up briefly, and then we'd be happy to answer any questions that the board has.
Joseph Kearns.
You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes.
Is it K-E-R-N-S?
K-E-A-R-N-S.
Thank you.
All right, good evening, Mr. Kearns. You heard the testimony and the summary that I provided the board, is that correct?
Yes.
And if you were called to testify, would you so adopt that testimony as your own this evening?
Yes.
Okay, and you constructed the 7 lots at Broadway and Mile, and we're here specifically with respect to Lot 2, is that right?
Yes,
And you submitted the same architectural plan for Lot 2 as you did with 5 of the other lots on Broadway and Mile, correct?
everything except lot 7.
Right. And when the as-built was created, you noticed that there was a minor encroachment into the yard that's closest to Broadway, is that right?
Yes,
We're asking for a second front yard setback to be 31.2 feet as opposed to the 35 feet that's required by the ordinance, is that right?
yes,
And everything else is compliant?
yes.
Okay, I have nothing further at this time.
Anybody have any questions? Okay. Bob, anything to add?
Nothing to add to that, Jim?
Anybody from the audience like to come up for or against this project? I need a motion.
I'll make a motion for this.
I'll second it.
On the board, please.
Gerard Lycon.
Yes.
Mark DeMarcus.
Yes.
Jim McMahon.
Yes.
Colleen Dunn.
Yes.
Ed Murphy, yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Now number 7. 2924 Veterans Highway LLC, 112 Monroe Street. Please come on up. Mr. McGinnis, go ahead.
Good evening. Mike McGinnis from Begley Carlin, here tonight on behalf of the applicant, 2924 Veterans Highway LLC. My client is the owner of the property located at 2924 Veterans Highway. Property is a little over 82,000 square feet, and it's zoned C commercial. There is a non-conforming use which is occurring at this lot. It is the home of GFO Stone. This opened here, GFO Stone, back in early 2022. My client purchased the property at the end of 2021. And if you're not familiar with GF Stone's operation, my client has what functions as a 35,000 square foot warehouse on site where its products are stored, and it has a showroom of just over 3,000 square feet, which displays their natural and engineered stone product. My client does not cut or install the product, but imports the material, sells it to fabricators, and then the showroom functions in a way that the fabricators bring their customers to the site. Customers take a look at the material in the showroom and they make their selection. They deal with both commercial and residential properties in the region, and the products range from quartz, granite, marble, and porcelain. We are here tonight because my client is hoping to continue to expand in the township. The application depicts the construction of an approximately 12,545 square foot building addition. And you'll be able to see when Larry gets up. Right now, there is a portion of the stone material which is stored to the exterior of the property, and the entire point of this application is to build the addition and then be able to bring that material to the inside of the property to allow it to be stored to the inside. The property is in good condition. It's maintained well. It will continue to be maintained in good condition post-addition. And one of the items that I want to state at the beginning that I'll have my client and Mr. Young verify is we understand, it was noted with other applications, that Bristol has a stormwater issue. We're sensitive to that. We know that we're asking for an impervious surface variance as part of this application, and we will volunteer as a condition of this application that as we go through the land development process, because that would follow a zoning approval, that we are going to not just capture the stormwater that would result from the additional impervious with this building addition, but Mr. Young is going to work with the township and Gilmore to over-design the stormwater to mitigate not just the addition, but additional impervious that's already on site. I'll also state that I know my client has been in conversations with the neighbor who is most affected by this with the location of the addition. My understanding is that he has no objection to this addition as well. With that, I would like to call Manny Elgendi to provide testimony, and then I'll have Mr. Young go through the site plan and answer any questions the board has. Thank you.
ELG ENDI.
ENDI. Okay, can you raise your right hand, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
All right. Good evening. Could you please state your name for the record?
Mani Elgindi.
Okay. Mr. Elgindy, you are the owner of the subject property that we're here to discuss this evening. Is that correct?
Me and my brother.
Okay. And you bought this site at the end of 2021, is that right?
December 21, yes.
Okay. And just speak into the microphone.
Yes.
Perfect. Thank you. And you also operate GFO Stone in addition to being the landowner, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Can you provide to the board a little bit of information about what GFO Stone does?
We just import the material from overseas, from 15 different countries, and we just sell it to the fabricator, which is cut and install for countertops.
Okay. And you service basically the greater Philadelphia region out of this property, is that correct?
Yes.
All right. And then I said to the board that what happens is you don't deal directly with the customers, you deal with the fabricators. The fabricators arrange for the customers to come on property. They go into your showroom and they take a look at your product, both for residential and for commercial. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And you want to be able to continue to expand this location here in Bristol, is that correct?
Yes, we would like to add more colors, more material from the same color. Just sometimes at the high season, I have no room to store the material.
Okay. And that is going to be what occurs inside of this space, if it's approved, is storage of additional
Storage, yes.
stone and material that your business has, correct?
Yes.
All right. And you understand, as part of this process, unlike some of the other applications, this requires land development approval by the township if you're able to get zoning approval, correct?
Yes.
All right. And Larry's going to address this in greater length, but I made a representation to the board that because you're asking for an impervious surface variance, you are going to, with any application, have to install stormwater facilities to mitigate any additional stormwater runoff as a result of your construction. You understand that, correct?
Understood.
Okay. But in this particular application, to the township's satisfaction, we're suggesting and volunteering to go above and beyond and to design stormwater that is not just going to mitigate the additional impervious surface, but is going to capture some of the existing impervious surface on site.
Yes.
And you're willing to commit to that tonight?
Yes, I do.
As a condition of approval in the record?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And then I made a statement that the neighbor that's closest to the expansion on site you've spoken to, is that correct?
John is sitting right here.
Okay. And hopefully he affirms this, but to your knowledge, he doesn't have an objection to this, correct?
Doesn't, no.
Oh, okay, great. Do you believe this would have any negative impact on any of the surrounding properties?
No.
Okay. And you're looking to bring any of the material that you currently have or occasionally have outside, inside if this is built?
Yes.
Okay. I have nothing further at this time.
Okay. Any have any more witnesses?
I do. I have, Mr. Young will go through this.
Anybody have any questions for? Go ahead.
Okay. Larry?
Good evening.
Larry Young. Can you raise your right hand, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
All right. Mr. Young, can you state your name for the record, please?
Larry Young,
And where are you employed?
Tri-State Engineers,
Okay. And what license do you hold?
Pennsylvania and New Jersey Professional Engineering License.
Okay. And you prepared the plans that are before the board for consideration this evening. Is that correct?
Yes, between me and our surveyor. Yeah.
Okay. Can you just do a brief overview for the zoning hearing board about the existing conditions on this site?
Yeah, what's up there, shown up on the screen is everything in gray is existing impervious. Everything in green is the existing grass, and the brown is the actual building. It's a 25,000 square foot building, and the applicant, Bob, the applicant wants to put this building addition on right here. That's about 12,500 square feet. Expand the parking up front, and this is all going to remain impervious, which it is in its current condition, that is where we're going to explore putting an underground system that will not only satisfy the stormwater ordinance for the additional impervious, but also some of the existing building too,
All right, so
or
the,
parking lot.
so the addition, if it's constructed, will essentially create a rectangular building for all intents and purposes if you're driving and looking into the property, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Obviously, you haven't fully designed the stormwater system yet because that occurs next during the land development process. But I made a representation to the board that Manny has affirmed that the design for this is not just going to capture the additional impervious that we're adding, but is also going to capture some of the existing impervious to add stormwater controls to this site. Is that correct?
That is correct, and we did a little legwork up front. We know that it's part of the Neshaminy watershed, which has volume control. We also know that there's type A soils out there, which are conducive to infiltration.
Okay. And the rest of the yard criteria we meet with the application?
Yes.
All right. And then in addition, since we're dealing with stormwater improvements, you will work with and comply with any regulations that are promulgated by the Conservation District and DEP, correct?
Correct.
All right. And just briefly, the surrounding properties, is this in a predominantly industrial area, if you can
You want
address
to
that?
go to the other file? Our property is zoned C commercial, but we're surrounded by M1 district. You can see the white boundary is the property, which we did consolidate to 2 lots. This is not Teneri, Danucci in the back. And these are also M1 property, manufacturing properties. Across the street is the commercial zone, which this is part of the commercial zone, this one lot.
Okay.
Also, you can see, can you move backwards?
The 2.
Scroll up.
Yeah.
Okay, right here, you can see there's the front of the building. This is a closer view. This is that grass area near the side. The transformer will be moved. Manny does not need that high voltage through that for what he does. So we're going to knock it down to 110. So that's the back of the building. And here's the problem right here. All his slabs, in addition to undercover, all his slabs are sitting out in the weather back here, almost the entire length of that parking area back there. So with this building addition that will occupy this area, all his slabs will be undercover at that point and safe.
Okay. And then you would install a subsurface stormwater control to the rear, as you stated?
Yeah, it would be under this portion.
Okay.
Back here.
And you're confident that this could be designed in a way that would not negatively affect any of the nearby property owners, is that correct?
Correct.
All right. I have nothing further for Mr. Young.
Because where it sits, there's no buffering has to be taken care of or anything?
No, because it's M1 and C commercial.
Okay.
So.
All right. All right, anybody else have any questions for Mr. Young? Nope. Bob? Okay. Anybody from the audience like to come up? No? Okay. I need a motion.
I'd like to give a motion for it.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Well, on the condition that Mr. McGinnis stated, correct? And That's what
Yes.
make the motion on?
Yeah, we could do it to the township satisfaction and Gilmore's satisfaction for stormwater
Everybody
design.
good with that? All right, Gerard, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'll give a motion for it as long as, our engineers agree with it and everything Larry Young said that they're gonna do with the stormwater management is making it bigger than what they need. I'm all for that.
I need a second.
I'll second it.
Call the board, please.
Gerard Lycon.
Yes.
Mark DeMarcus. Yes. Jim McMahon.
Yes.
Colleen Dunn.
Yes.
Ed Murphy, yes.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Congratulations.
Okay. Thanks. Thanks, Keith. Thanks for watching out for me. Yeah, number 9. Samuel,
Can I have a quick break?
Samuel Lycan. 1991. Oh, yeah, all right, can we, take a quick 5-minute break, please? I apologize. Please, 5 minutes, thank you.
I can take care of this stuff before break. You there?
Sure, absolutely.
How you doing? You know the date that this was posted? Is that the date? Can you verify? Because I'm gonna ask you a question on the record about it. So July 25th. It's no longer posted, the property, is that still up? Okay, you know, if it, was it taken down at all? Because it has to be up for 2 weeks. Okay, so it has to be up for 2 weeks. Day we got the letter, my administrative assistant got the poster from the township. Okay, so it clearly shows that it's posted now, or at least on this date. Is it still posted now? Okay, all right, because, verifies that it's not posted. Okay, okay. So, when we reconvene, you'll be sworn in, and I'll ask you some similar questions about that, okay? Hold on to this.
I can't.
That's the post, he said that's in the front yard, and it was posted on that date, and the time stamp.
Okay. I didn't see it.
Yeah,
Which
so-
one's this?
This one.
That one. All right, because, well, I get a picture, but that's fine.
Yeah, so even if they post on this date, he said it was up for 2 weeks, so, it wouldn't be, today is like 3 weeks. So I'm gonna ask him on the record, he'll have to swear on firm, it was posted on this date that he gave him for 2 weeks.
Okay.
Okay, are you good?
No. Moving.
Okay, let's go.
All right, guys.
All right,
Let's
guys.
bring it in. 5 minutes is up. Somewhere. Okay. Where are we at here? Good.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Mr. Lakin, you've handed up some documents, one of which is certified mailings. Now that you've been placed under oath, you're advising that the properties that are listed received notice of tonight's meeting, and that notice was the form letter supplied by the township. Is that accurate? Correct. All right, you've also handed me up a picture. It's 2 pages. The front page shows a posting of the placard given by the township. And do you swear and affirm that the placard was placed on the pole and then also on a door of the building on July 25th? And then those placards stay on, and did those placards stay posted for a period of 2 weeks from July 25th? Okay. And are those placards still in the building now?
That's my knowledge, yes.
Okay. Very well.
Okay, you may proceed.
So we're just seeking a variance to operate, and it's nothing to do with structures or anything like that. At Zone M1, and we're selling emergency vehicles. We were told that we can't sell emergency vehicles in the M1 zoning. So we're looking for a variance for that, so that we can provide the service of the sales of emergency vehicles to the township, Kevin DiPolito and your guys' EMS services. And to those around us. We needed to expand to be able to service our customers, and so we're hoping to move forward to see if to allow variance for us to operate out of that. My co-part.
Yeah.
Raise your right hand, please. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
State your name, please.
Vitaly Samsonov.
Spell it, please.
Vitaly. Last name is Samsonov.
SANSONOV.
NOV.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I'd like to add that currently there is a variance in place at 1991 Hartel, which is 3 buildings over from what we're trying to move. And the request is to be able to move the dealership with UNO into the new building, because in the old building, we're only occupying part of the building, and the parking is pretty tight in there. There's not enough office space in this building. The new building will service very well.
Okay.
I quite don't understand that. You want to do what again?
So we'd like to move our current facility from 1991 Hartel, which has UNO and variance in place. The variance was granted about 12 years ago.
That's to the right.
Is the microphone on?
Green light.
Pick it up and pull it.
Yeah, okay, there we go. Yeah. Okay, yeah, so what we're trying to do is we currently have a variance at 1991 Hartel and a UNO for that property. We've been there for about 12 years. Unfortunately, about 5 years ago, we sold the building, and we're only occupying a small part of it, which is really tight with parking. There's no office space. And in all fairness, there's not enough space to work for people there to properly do their job. So that's why we got the new building next door. We would like to see if we can move our variance to sell emergency vehicles out of that location.
Wait,
So,
wait, hold on
Okay.
a second. So this variance you are applying for today, if you want to change over to another building?
No, I'm sorry, let me just.
He's giving proof, okay. So he's giving proof of variance to our old facility, or our existing facility at 1991. So a variance in that area has already been granted for the same thing that we're asking in 1961. That's it. It's simple as that.
That is the building to the right of it if you're facing it. Is that
If you're
correct?
facing our old building, this would be 2-3 buildings over to the left.
Right. The new
On-
building
on the
is 3 buildings, yeah, 2 or 3
So if you're
buildings.
facing the building you're talking about today that you want to get your variance for.
It's 3 buildings to the right.
To the right,
That is
okay,
correct.
that's where I thought you were, okay. Thank you.
Okay, I see it now. All right. Right, their existing business is 1991 Hartsel, but the variance is for 1961 Hartsel.
Correct.
Okay, I got you. Okay, we're on the same page here. Okay. Is that your presentation? You guys are done? Pretty basic, cut and dry, right? Is that
I mean,
what you're saying?
there is plenty of parking and office space for that. We're not creating any traffic
Guys are
issues.
not applying for a parking variance, so I'm assuming our parking's right. Right, Bob?
Correct.
Okay. Anybody have any questions?
I do.
Go ahead, Gerard.
So you already have a license next door, is that correct?
Yes.
Not
Why don't
next
you
door,
just-
3.
Pardon me?
Not next door, it's 3 buildings down.
3 buildings down to
Correct.
the right, you already have a license there.
Correct.
So why do you want to get a license in this new building?
Because the space in that building has been reduced, so we cannot perform operations to service our customers to the best of what they deserve.
In one word, we'd like to move from one building to the other.
I mean, the issue I have is, you have all the fire trucks there, the ambulances and all that stuff. You're constantly out in the street or parked out in the street. Now you want to sell vehicles in this new location, and that's just gonna be more vehicles out there. Because I drive up and down that road probably 3 times, 4 times a week. I'm always up and down that road. Even more, maybe 5 times a week. And constantly, you have trucks out in the street, employees parked out in the street, because the place next door or 2 doors up, you can't even get in that driveway to even drive around it. It's that packed. So I do have a little concerns with getting a new license in this place, and it's really gonna be a problem.
That's gonna actually help some of that issue to allow the space there to handle that overflow. That was the idea of it.
Now, do you also own the property on 13 Ballpark, the old ballpark?
Yes, basically, we're trying to sell it right now.
Okay, now I know you came in for zoning for that, and we turned that down, and you said, okay, let's just load it up with about 8 or 10 ambulances.
Which they're no longer there.
I know, but that's, you know, what I'm talking about. You got a lot of vehicles. I just don't want to see more vehicles.
Right, that's why we'd like to move to a place where we have ample parking. And if you look on the street currently, we have all our employees parked in their lots. Like, we have a lot we rented across the street from us. So all the
I've
cars
seen
are
that.
there. And the only reason why you would see trucks ever on the street is because they're being loaded or unloaded. And that's unfortunately, bringing big trucks in. It's a part of the, situation, but that's why we keep sort of in front of our current building, we keep a little bit of space so the big trucks can park there. And now in the new building, they can go around the corner, and there's definitely space to park there without blocking anything.
All right, just that was my concern from driving on that road.
Thanks
A
for the
lot.
question.
Understood.
Anybody else?
I didn't do, I'm sorry, it says in here also that you would like to repair them as well?
Correct.
Bob, does that fall under the M1? I don't see it in there.
It falls under the D17A for automotive sales used, so it is, they are allowed to repair vehicles, yes.
That's fine.
Anybody else? Robert, anything to add?
Nothing more, Jim.
Okay. Anybody from the audience like to come up? Okay. Come on up, sir. You get sworn in, please.
Right hand, please. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but
I do.
the truth? Can I have your name, please?
Ken, last name Ken, Plunto, Plunto.
Can you grab that mic and just pull in front of you, please?
This one?
Can you give me the microphone?
Yep.
Thank you.
All right. My concern is that, as some of you pointed out, there's a lot of congestion in not just 1991, but 2001 Hartel Street, which I do believe that's your place too, right?
We build trucks there. It's a separate company.
Okay, but I mean, I've got pictures that show that, you know, these places are absolutely packed with vehicles. And my concern is for the overflow that happens that's been alluded to. But at 1961 Hartel Street, it's on Hartel and Headley. Hartel ends, Headley starts. It's a 90-degree turn, and Headley goes out and services the rest of the industrial park on the other side. So big trucks, tractor trailers, all that comes through there, has to make that 90-degree turn, and it takes all of the real estate that's there now to be able to navigate that. If something is parked on outside of the curb line of 1961, trucks are not going to be able to make that turn. And that's just not for the convenience of the people that have businesses in the park for their deliveries and so forth. I'm talking about emergency vehicles like you sell, being able to get through that turn in an emergency to be able to get to the other side of the park if things are parked outside that curb line. Now, you've said that, you know, with this new building that you're going to be able, that's going to relieve some of the pressure of the other building, right?
Correct.
Well, I don't see how that's happening because you still have stuff at 1991 that's still pretty well packed out, and you're already packed out at 1961. You've got trucks in the back parked, 2 and 3 deep. You got them in the front parked 2 deep, plus cars, they're parked.
But nothing out on this.
Nothing on the street, I'll give
One
you
at a
that.
time, we're not going back and forth. You have a chance to respond to
Okay,
Mr. Plumko.
It's true, there's nothing that's out, there was 2 trucks they had out on the street on the Headley side, but it was back. You know, my concern is that navigating that 90-degree turn. And now, the history here, guys, got to be honest. I mean, you know, where you have other equipment, you got them stacked in there like cordwood, standing room only, and it pours over into the streets and sometimes onto other people's property. And you know, you're parking right now over in 2000, right? Your men, your guys, your workers are parking across the street at 2000. Now, you very well may have the right to do that, but if that building, 2000, if you're familiar with it, it's like a lab building. There's 4 units in it. It's kind of a specific building for a specific type of usage. And it's occupied and it's not occupied. It's back and forth, on the market, off the market. And so I don't know, you know, you might be compensating that guy for parking, you got about a dozen or more cars parked over there, okay? Sure. So if that guy rents that building out and he needs those parking spaces to comply with parking for that building, what are you going to do with those 12 vehicles that you're parking on his spot right now? Okay?
You're gonna have to find room for
I know, but if that room is in the street, then, you know, again, it makes a choke point.
Mr. Plumko, can you just
Speak to us.
speak to us, please, not to
Oh,
them,
I'm sorry.
Okay?
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's just,
I didn't mean to do that.
you didn't know. I should
that's-
have let you know earlier. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, so that's my concern. Overpouring into the street, obstacle, impacting the ability for emergency vehicles to be able to navigate that turn. And again, you know, crowding the place out. Like, if you're asking for that to be a sales platform, my concept, I mean, I don't see any drawing or any sketch of a parking plan. I mean, generally speaking, I would imagine, I mean, I know that a parking plan is part of the parking space diagram on a commercial UNO application is something that you have to have. So I don't see where there's anything that's showing where employees on 1961 we're talking now. Where's the employees going to park? Where's the customers going to park? Where's the sales vehicles going to be? Where's the display area for the sales vehicles? Where's the area for vehicles that are there for service or prep for sale? Where are they going to be delineated on the lot so that people know that, okay, this is the concept, and we can have some assurance that, you know, there's a plan in place that's going to be executed like this, and there isn't going to be pour over into the street. And by proving where you're going to be making these delineated spots for parking and sales and employee parking and all that, on top of that, having the ability then to see a drawing and say, okay, with that delineation, there's still room to be able to navigate on the site and not have still room to navigate on the site and not be able to come out into the street. But
Thank you.
that's it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can I
You
respond?
guys got any response to that?
I do.
Yeah.
So to be clear, a lot of the concerns were to do with properties we're not talking about today, right? We're talking about 1991 and 2001, which isn't in question today. I understand there's some fear or apprehension. The plan that was spoke about for parking in the new building is actually underway and in place. All of our employees park in the front parking lot with some of the units that are for sale. Our employees are mostly in the mechanical facet. We have 2 sales reps. Our sales customers do not come to the dealership. It is not like a used car dealership where people will come out and park and look at things. That doesn't happen. This is all commercial sales through townships, fire departments, and internet. They make appointments. When they come out with their appointment, there's a place for them to be for parking. They look at the vehicle sold, and then they usually ship the vehicle via a truck. That point where the gentleman's talking about in that corner, there's no space for us to utilize or to park, so we wouldn't have a need to park there at that corner to turn around. Past that corner, where our side entrances to the lot, there is a wide area and a big space in the parking section there, where we can load and unload trucks if need be in the back lot. So we're really open and flexible in that property, which is why we are looking for the variance, so that we can eliminate any bias from our other properties that neighbors may have or issue, to really help not only the community and the customer, but any issues that might be going on to,
But I think to Mr. Blumko's point is there's no real, I mean, you guys are obviously businessmen. You've been doing this probably that doesn't seem like there's any, I mean, I could be wrong, any business model here, like, and how many numbers of vehicles they're allowed to have there, and how many parking spots there is there, and, you know, so forth and so on. It's just not that cut and dry where they're allowed to sell vehicles there. Okay, if we give them the variance to sell vehicles there, that's fine, but that doesn't mean, you know.
that doesn't mean we can. We actually have to get approval by the state, but we're
Right,
going it step
but
at a
then
time.
You're not
So-
telling us how many vehicles you're gonna put there, and, you know, that's an issue. I mean, your overflow is obviously a problem. So, now that you have something bigger, what makes you say that you're not gonna do more vehicles there and still have overflow? We don't know. The township's not here to police that.
Right.
Either. So, I mean, I don't know where you guys will go from here, but Bob, did you have something to add?
Yeah, I mean, there is requirements for the used vehicles that they have 6-foot aisles for
Right.
vehicles on sale. They can't be parked in a front, rear, or side setback.
The same
To
problem
be,
with.
to be
Right.
completely candid, the last 2 properties that they occupied have had several code enforcement issues.
Right.
So I believe that's what's prompting them to get a bigger property.
But the same issues with the ballpark property, basically the same issues here.
Correct.
Am I correct? So, you know, that's where we're at here. Like, you guys roll in here and want a variance, and I get it. You want to continue your business, but it's just not that simple in my eyes. It's my personal opinion. That's what all I really have to say about that. But if you get, what do you got?
I just had a question. So are we trying to find out how many vehicles max we can park, or are we trying to make sure that there's no vehicles parked in the street that block traffic. What is the issue are we trying to solve?
My issue, from what I've been hearing and what I've been seeing, in the whole grand scheme of things, is you guys are not, I hate, I'm gonna say it, but you're not good stewards of what's going on in those properties. You're overflowing, your vehicles everywhere, you know, and the neighbors and people that drive through there have an issue with it. So,
How about any other neighbors?
that's the way I see it from where
Right,
I'm sitting.
because we were told today, for example, that we park a lot of vehicles in the street, right?
Yeah.
From what I remember, I mean, we barely have anything in the past few months that we ever left anything out there. You know, yes, we did rent the parking space from the next door neighbor, but that's just to, you know, not to do that, and if we need to, you know, make some room for other vehicles.
Paying a UNO for that?
No, probably not. So we just have to do that.
Many pictures here of two vehicles in the street.
When was this taken? And where,
Doesn't
is it on the street or is it like,
No, it's on the street.
can I see it? Just to make sure.
Google Maps. You can go right on Google Maps and see
But
it.
Google Maps is from a few years ago, yeah.
Still, you had a business there a few years ago, right?
Well, we're making sure that we're not creating any problems. That's why when the councilman said he drives through there a couple of times a week and he sees our vehicles blocking the street, that was a shock to me because I make sure that, you know, do my absolute best, and I think I'm pretty good at making sure that there's nothing parked out there on the street.
Okay, anybody else from the audience like to come up? Please come on up, sir.
Good evening. Yeah, Rob Albert.
Rob?
Yes.
Albert, A-L-B-E-R-T?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth,
Yes, ma'am.
Can you pull the mic over and speak into the
Sure can.
Sir, can you give your address or business address?
I
please?
sure can. I'm next door neighbors at 1971 Hartel Street. So if you're looking at the building, we're the first building on the right-hand side.
Thank you.
We got one small issue that has been plaguing Veltri Trucking, who had just sold the building. It's a water issue from their building that bleeds down into our side of the building. It's not a waterway, it's not a gully, but it's turning into a real mess when you have these torrential rains. After they had purchased the building, they went out and put more gutters and more things shooting towards our building. So their retention basin is on the opposite side of the building, which is the Hanford Street side. But I get all the water. I do have a picture of the buildings, if I can approach.
Sure. Sure.
So that's theirs and that's ours.
Well, Mr. Chairman, if we could mark that as Albert 1.
So moved.
So it's unique that the building was built higher than 1971. A roofing company made the building back in the day, and it sits up as far as elevation goes.
I don't
So that's,
I don't know how much we.
They're
can really
here
do-
for a
we can
use
really do
variance.
about
If you
That's
guys-
correct.
Any discussion about that, we could talk after the meeting and
that's-
address it on a township standpoint.
More of a township.
okay,
zoning-
I
zoning
do
thing.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Raise your right hand, please. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Yes. Please.
Cindy.
Address, please, sir?
I own the building.
Say your name in the microphone, please.
My name is Bradford Picard. I own Smoky Properties, which is an adjoining building. His property line and my property line are probably 25 feet apart. And just for the record, I'd like to say I was not noticed about this meeting, which I find kind of unusual. Okay. I've got a couple pictures of the type of activity that these guys do. They sit there and they talk about, I've been here since 1991. Yeah, and you made a mess out of the place since 1991. All right, I got some pictures. Last week, they cut a tree down, and guess what they did with it? They threw it over the fence. I don't want people like that in my neighborhood. I was going home the other night, because I have a cat rescue, and I go over and I give medicine. I'm driving home at 10 o'clock at night, and there's scavengers in the back of their trucks cutting wire out. I don't want them people in my neighborhood. Those are the guys that cut off your catalytic converters and stuff. You know, the place is nice and quiet, and this is like rat food. You got rats in the neighborhood now, okay?
We don't have to be derogatory, sir. We can keep it civil.
Excuse me?
No derogatory remarks about other people.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yes.
They just have a history of buying a 5-apple bag and trying to shove 10 apples in it. And it ends up on the neighbor's property, it ends up out in the street. You know, you could sit there and say, oh, it was out there. No, you don't live over there. You don't go up and down that street. You can't get up and down that street. They're always unloading something. They don't care about anybody else in the neighborhood. These guys are not the kind of people you want in the neighborhood the way they're operating now. I'm not saying they can't fix it. Everybody's there to make a living. But this, the kind of things, and I've got some pictures, so I'd like to just show you. Two of them are of the property up the street, and I took a picture of the tree that they cut down a week ago, and they threw it over the fence. I don't even know whose tree it is, because it's outside their fence line. Can I approach?
Sure, we don't need the tree picture, but you can show us the other pictures. You can give the tree picture to Bob. We'll take the other pictures, though.
This is just a couple pictures of their other properties.
Can you just state your address for the record when you go back to the, excuse me? State your address for the, when you go back to the.
Oh, I'm sorry,
when you go back. Okay. On the microphone.
I thought you were handing it to me.
Smoky Properties is a large horseshoe-shaped building, has 3 addresses. It's 1601, 1605, and 1609 Harmer Street.
1601, 1605, and what was the last one?
1609. It's a horseshoe, and each leg is a different address.
Thank you.
Okay. These guys have always been a problem on the street. They, you know, like I said, they put 10 apples in a 5-apple bag and think it's okay. There was a question earlier, you know, where are your employees going to park? I can answer that for him. He parks on the grass. He did it last week. He's been doing it ever since he was in the building. This stuff about, oh, I'm going to have a parking lot, that's bull. I didn't take any pictures. This gentleman's got pictures. All right? There was a car parked on their lawn for a week and a half with no license plate on it. What is this, a junkyard? Okay, you know, it just goes on and on and on. It doesn't get better. Okay, anybody got any questions for me?
No, thank you.
No, thanks, Mr. Picard. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, if we can mark the pictures handed by Mr. Picard as, Picard.
Can I show you these pictures this gentleman has?
I think we've seen them already, didn't we?
He didn't show you the pictures.
I think we've seen enough pictures for now.
Picard, 1, for the record.
Okay, so moved. Okay. Anything else you got, gentlemen, you can respond to here? This hot mess.
I just wanted to make a closing statement. Actually, I pretty much agree with Mr. Brett said, you know, because we did have an issue with that tree, which I personally wasn't aware of, didn't know about it this morning. So I guess, you know, we really have to make sure that we make peace with the whole neighborhood. That's what I think, you know, our goal should be going forward. And, you know, that's what we would like to do. And then maybe come back and hopefully, you know, hopefully get it all situated.
Where do you want to go from here? You tell us. You want to continue it? You want us to move forward with this variance?
You did something.
I mean, yes, we would love to have the variance if there's so many people that are upset in the neighborhood. This is the first I'm personally hearing of it. Okay, so no one's come to me and said, "Oh, you guys are parked here. You're doing this," and I'm not saying people should. Right, I'm not saying they should, but a lot of us moving into the bigger building is to alleviate some of the compactness. Some of the statements made about people robbing us, that we can't control people stripping wires out of our equipment that we keep in a storage at the end of a street that we pay for, right? We pay for that storage. We don't overfill it. We keep it within the amount of spaces. So it's like we're doing our best to pay for space, keep it out of the thoroughfares, the driveways, and people's, businesses and other things. So if we could have a continuance to, or some guidance to what would be good to get the variance, we'd be open for that.
Can they meet with you, Bob, at some point, or?
Yeah, I mean, they're well aware of what they got going on at the properties, but they can meet with me anytime they want.
There you go. So you guys need a couple months? What do you need? What are we talking here? I mean, give us some kind of clarity. 60 days? The whole thing.
Give them 60 days?
Go ahead,
Sorry.
Brandon.
I think you need to make friends with the neighbors. I mean, you don't have to go out to dinner, but I think you need to do a lot of housekeeping. Sure. A lot. I mean, you got several neighbors here really upset. You need to do some housekeeping there and clean up, get things off the front line. There's tons of stuff on the front line, but I don't know where you're gonna put them. But you need to figure out how to be friendlier with your neighbors.
All right, so you're thinking October?
Yeah, please.
Absolutely, Keith. Go right ahead.
Mr. Chairman, so if they're looking for a continuance for a 60-day continuance, it would be October 13th. And gentlemen, since you're the applicants, you would have to, just in abundance of caution, waive the applicable timelines for this board to hear the matter and then render a decision. So could you state on the record that you would grant this board a waiver of those timelines to hear this matter and decide this matter, since you're asking for a continuance?
Yes.
Okay.
Great.
Thank you.
Okay. Come on up.
Are they continuing to stay or keep 1991 where they're at now? Are they staying
They're
there
asking for
and
60
having?
days- They're asking for 60 days to speak with the township and get some kind of plan in order and come before this board again with variances they need
Right.
to move forward. So.
Now, I understand what you're asking them to do, but I'm just asking, is their plan to move out of 1991 and just into 1961? Or are they planning on keeping both places? Because moving out of 1991 and putting everything into 1961 is going to be, I don't see how they could do it, because I've got pictures that show right now what they're doing, and it's crowded.
Okay, all right.
And that's all.
Can you respond to that?
So yes, we're maintaining 1991. We're not getting rid of it. We're using that for storage and adequate space as well.
You're
Yes.
not moving anything into 61 as of.
61's already occupied, Jimmy.
Okay,
Yeah.
so, all right, okay.
Without a UNO.
Okay, of course.
Can I ask a quick question?
Absolutely.
So they're operating at 1961 without a UNO?
That's why
And
they're
then
here.
I had a quick question. The trucks that are on Runway Road and Edgeley Road, are they belonging to you as well?
Is that the stone lot with the fence?
Yes.
Yeah, we have code enforcement proceedings against them for that as well.
So, Keith, if granted, can we only hear their their motion if they clean up what they have existing? I know they're not combined, so I'm asking you because it sounds like they have a lot.
State that one more time, so I understand.
So they have a lot of existing issues with.
Code, right.
Yes.
Can we make a condition that we will only hear their continuance if Bob is satisfied with their existing issues? Or do we have to wait until that time? I know they're not
Under the proceedings, for the use and occupancy proceedings?
For what they're here for today?
No, because they're separate properties.
That's what I figured. I
Yes.
just wanted to ask.
Okay.
Okay. Anybody else? All right. So we're going with 60 days, October, right? You're gonna meet with Bob. Bob's gonna go over what you need to do. And then you come back, whatever variances you need, and we move forward, right? Everybody good with that? Everybody fine with that? Speak now, forever hold your peace. I did. My apologies.
When this comes, when they come back, are they going to have a parking plan for 1961?
That's what we're looking for, sir, yeah.
The parking plan is part of the UNO process, so if the variances was granted, they would have to show a parking plan, and that would have to comply as well. Right now, they're not asking for any parking relief because they don't have a UNO. They're here to try to get the variance to occupy the building, even though they already are, illegally, but they are here because we're going after them.
Right.
In a sense.
Okay, but there will be a parking plan established
There
and
has to be.
presented?
Yes, sir.
There has to be, absolutely. Okay. Motion for a continuance for October.
I'll make a motion to continue to October.
Second, please. I will second. Call the board, please.
Gerard Lycon.
No.
Mark DeMarcus.
No.
Jim McMahon.
Yes.
Colleen Dunn.
No?
Ed Murphy, yes.
Okay, what do we do from here?
Now what do we got?
Help
They
me
can't
out.
continue?
Well, the continuance motion was denied, therefore, they can finalize their presentation. Sorry. Since it was, the continuance request was denied, they can continue on with the presentation, conclude their presentation, and then, take appropriate motions then.
Okay, so we gotta move forward. Okay. I need a motion to deny or accept this.
I would wrap up, public comment, I'd make sure they have nothing else to present, then do that.
Okay. You guys have anything else to present to the board? Anybody? Okay. I need a motion to accept or deny this application.
I'll make a motion to deny.
Second.
I'll second.
Call the board.
Gerard Lycon.
Yes.
Mark DeMarcus.
Yes.
Jim McMahon.
Yes.
Colleen Dunn.
Yes.
Ed Murphy, yes.
Okay, sorry, boys.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate your time.
Okay. Last but not least, Young Lou, 2 Pearl Buck Court, Bristol. Please come on up.
How you doing? Okay, so, you're handing me some paperwork, okay, this is the most important thing. So the property was posted, I see the placard, when was that put up? When was that put on the building? Yeah, when?
Yeah, 14 days ago.
14 days? It's been 14 days.
14 days.
Okay, because we got word that it's not there now, it's not on the building now.
Oh, we just took off.
You took off today?
Right.
So it's been up for 2 weeks.
Yeah, right. Already 2 weeks.
Okay, do you know the date that it was put on the building?
It's,
Can you, all right, I need you to find that date, and then when you get sworn in, I'm gonna ask you that same question on the record. Okay, so pull the date up, she's gonna swear you in, and I'm gonna ask you that question.
should be 2 weeks ago. It's, date.
July 28th.
What's that? Definitely it's already.
Not anymore.
They used to, it used to, okay, I've been down that road for years.
It says July 25th. Placard says July 25th. Posted?
Even I was talking,
Okay. All right, so she's gonna swear you in, and then I'm gonna ask you some questions. Okay.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Sir, can you just state your name for the record?
I'm sorry?
Can you state your name for the record?
Young Liu.
Okay. Mr. Liu, you've handed me up some paperwork, one of which is a picture showing that the property was posted. Is that your property?
Yes.
And did you place that placard on your building?
Yes.
Okay, and then the date on that states July 25th.
Yes.
And did that placard stay on the building for a period of 2 weeks?
Yes.
Okay, great. And then you also handed me up signed neighbor notification letters. Is that accurate?
Yes.
All right, and you took these to your neighbors and you had them sign these notifications?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Okay, sir, you can continue. Go ahead.
Okay.
Proceed.
Our application is very simple. We just want to just, have some, extra storage in the back of the building to just, why we have this like this, because our business, we do cosmetics manufacturing. Okay, sorry. Yeah, we do cosmetics manufacturing. Yeah, cosmetics. Yeah. So what do we do like this, So we have mixer, we have all the ingredients, mix and get a bulk product. And then we need some, drums or totes. Drums, yeah, like 55-gallon drums or some, bigger totes, okay? So we need to drain those, products from mixer. Drain them from mixer, because mixer is tank, okay, from the tank. And then we use those, drums or totes to transfer this bulk product to our packaging line. We need to pack the bottles. Yeah, packaging this product into bottles or jars. Yeah, get it like a lotion, creams, shampoo, conditioner, put in the bottle. Okay, so we need some, big drums and totes. This one, business. Another one is when we make the bulk product, some ship to the customer directly, and then they pack it, they fill themselves. Okay, so we just drain the product from the tank into those, drums or totes. And then we put those drums on pallets, okay, on pallets, and then use a truck, ship to customers, yeah. So then we need some, empty drums. Usually is like a plastic empty drums or plastic, totes, okay. And then we need those, wood in this pallet, okay. So those items, we storage here inside our building before, but then the fire department came, and then after the inspection, they suggest we store outside. They store outside the building. Yeah, it's for safety. They said it's put outside, it will be safer. Yeah. So then this is why we just, file this application to get some extra storage back of the building, okay? So we just use, small part of the back building, like just, small part, yeah. Just, left side in the corner, okay? So now over there, it's kind of private. There's wood, just behind that, okay? And then so it's not so big area. And this is why we filed this application. And we also let all the neighbors know, and nobody has a problem with that. Yeah. So just, this is, yeah. So if the board have some questions. Yeah.
Just to help the board better understand, the fire marshal's office went out to conduct an inspection, notified my department. We went out and found that they divided this whole building up into different rooms. They obtained permits for that. Part of the inspection, they did obtain permits. Part of that inspection was that the chemicals that were stored inside the building cannot be stored inside. They have to either store it off-site or get a proper container to store them in. Right now, there's just 55-gallon drums and IBC totes filled with these chemicals, and that's what's in the rear of the property.
That's not sufficient to store the chemicals.
No.
No, there's no chemicals outside. It's just, empty drums. And we will not store those chemicals outside. This is just empty drums.
Last time we were at the property, the drums were filled with whatever solution or chemicals that were in.
Right, that's inside. Those is inside. We're not in, yeah. Just, for the outside storage, only for those empty, not, empty drums. It's not, there's no any chemical there.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So where are you storing the chemical?
The inside. We have storage room.
The fire marshal told not to store it inside.
That's correct.
Correct?
Yep.
We have to install inside, The fire marshal already come, several times, to inspect.
You slow down for me, please.
I'm sorry.
Just speak slowly.
Oh, sorry. Sure. Yeah.
The fire marshal,
Yeah, fire marshal came to inspect already several times. Okay. Yeah, right. Because those chemicals actually is ingredients for making those cosmetics. So those ingredients you have to install inside. You cannot install outside. Yeah. So outside storage only for the empty drums and totes.
So
Yeah.
the barrels that you were storing inside the building, what the fire marshals told you to move outside, where are they now?
It's empty drums, and so we're just going to put in outside the building.
put them outside the building?
Yeah, right.
Why would he have them store empty barrels? Why wouldn't he be allowed to store empty barrels outside?
To my knowledge, Jim, the fire marshal asked him to remove the barrels of chemicals that were stored inside the building, and that is what's stored outside.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're in a conflict here because this gentleman's saying no, you're saying yes. Bob's gonna text the fire marshal right now and find out. So, let's give it a couple minutes, see if we get a response, and then we'll take it from there. Okay. Talks amongst yourselves. time, if you want to repeat that?
So last fire inspection was February of this year, and they were in compliance inside the building, and to the fire marshal's knowledge that all the drums outside were emptied
Okay.
and non-hazardous.
So we're still looking for a storage variance then? Is that what we're looking for here? Are they allowed to store them outside? No, of course not, but okay. Go ahead.
With drums, they usually come and want to pick them right back up.
Right.
So I'm not, how long do the drums stay, I'm sorry, sir, how long do the drums usually stay outside your property for?
Like this, we need those drums, always have tens of drums outside, and tens. Yeah, tens, 50, 60 drums outside and there, prepare for our production, something like that, yeah. The production, when we do production, we need those drums to just, temporary, get the products, and then just, move to our packaging lines to get a fill and a pack. Packaging lines. Packaging line, L-I-N-E, lines, packaging lines. Like some machines, yeah, right, we use a filling machine to fill those products into bottles, jars, like that. So, but we need a container to transfer those, bulk products from the tank into the packaging line, and then the worker can pack, just like that.
So
Yeah.
do they stay there all the time, or does somebody come and pick them up and take them away?
Those empty drums, when we use it and we take it inside to use it, okay?
That's not the question I asked you. Do they stay there all the time, or does somebody come and pick them up and take them away and refill them?
How to say, because, we always need, sorry, it's always outside and there.
Right.
Because some we use and we just, we buy some more, okay? So we have to put it like just, 40, 50 drums outside there, okay?
Go yes or no question. Do the drums stay there?
Yeah, stay there.
All the time?
All the time, yes, right.
These drums in this picture
Mhm.
stay there all the time. Nobody comes and picks them up, takes them away anywhere. They stay there constantly. You reuse them. You take them back in, you fill them back up.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Right, yes, yeah.
All right. Okay. That's fine. All right. Anybody, is that all you have, sir? You done with your presentation?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Listen, I don't, you guys have any questions?
Yeah, I do.
Go ahead, Gerard.
All right, these drums, is there dangerous chemicals in them?
No, it's empty.
Okay, is the stuff that's in it dangerous? When
No,
it's full?
no.
I have a picture of one of your drums, and it has a word danger on it, if I'm correct. Yep, it says danger. It has it burns your hands and it burns other stuff. You want to see that?
Yeah, let me
Okay.
take a
Am I allowed to show it to them off my
Yeah,
phone?
come on,
Okay.
come on up.
Let me make this easier. Let me stand next to you.
Let me take your picture.
No, right over here. We'll stand by my mic. All right, you come up here.
So you're gonna have to send a copy of that picture to, Mr. Bidwell.
I can send it over.
All right.
All right, this drum right here shows danger on it. And it shows that.
This is like this. This is already empty. It's inside. It's let me see what it is.
But it does say
You
danger, right?
Yeah, right.
And it shows burning.
Yeah, but it's inside. There's nothing already empty.
But there's still residue left in it, is what I'm saying. There
Yeah,
has
right.
to be something.
Right,
So it's danger.
Right. This is how to say, because we use a lot of ingredients to make cosmetics.
Okay.
And some they have this label. For example, sodium hydroxide we always use, for manufacturing.
Okay.
But after we use put outside there,
Mhm.
then that's we have company. They come here just like if we have like 50, 60, and they come here pick up. They just
Okay.
move away. Yeah, like that.
I'll send you that picture. This picture, this is
Can you hear what they're saying?
all right, I'll try to keep it one at a
Go
time.
ahead.
This picture is looks like a 40-yard container, and you have hazmat mats out there. These are mats to suck up chemicals. Okay, what is that? Hazmat mats. They're blankets you throw on the ground to suck up liquids. And this is leak. It looks like it's coming out of came out of that other container or whatever was there. What are these?
This, I think this is somebody's box, right? Yeah,
Here, speak a little louder for her.
Yeah, okay.
And slower.
So I think this is some used boxes, already used boxes. And
Epoxy.
Then, yeah, boxes.
Epoxy.
No, epoxy. Just paper box.
Oh, paper box.
Paper box, like a master box, paper box.
He's seen the picture, Gerard.
Okay.
He can go up there at the podium and see.
All right.
All right?
I'll send you those two pictures.
Thank you.
Mr. Liu, did I not just ask you if those barrels stay there all the time and nobody picks them up? You said, yes, they stay there all the time. And then you just stated to Mr. Lycon that somebody comes and picks some of them up. Is it, what are we doing?
There's two things, two things. One thing, what I described is for some, empty drums we use for products.
Right.
Okay. But then the other picture is in the, it's in the dumpster, near the dumpster. Okay, over there, that one is for those ingredients drums. Okay, we use those drums because we have production, we have to use these ingredients. And these ingredients, come to us in drums. Okay, so after we use it, and then we put it, near the dumpster, so then just, there is one contractor, they come to pick up those drums. So these are different things, we're talking about.
And one more thing I have. Behind the dumpster, you probably have 50 drums back there, tipped over, upside down, in the woods. I don't know if stuff leaks out of them, but that housekeeping is horrible. So you might want to straighten them up, do something with them.
Sure.
I said that last time when the lady was here. I said it doesn't look good, and then we postponed it. Not good. That's all I have to say about that.
So, I hate, yeah, no, you can ask as many as you like.
I'm sorry. Did you say that the drums or whatever you're storing outside is stored in tents?
Tents, yes, right.
I'm sorry, I just wanted to ask the tents because I know they're not allowed, so I wanted to ask about that was there. Sorry.
So, I'm trying to think of a way to possibly, I don't know, get to a mutual understanding here, but I don't know what that is.
Oh, I have one more question. For the drums that are used and getting picked up by the vendor, how often do they come, and how many do you let pile up before they come? 'Cause that might help Gerard's question.
It depends, sometimes, because, it depends, how many already there. Basically, if there is like more than 50, then we call the contractor and they come here to pick up, like that.
55 gallon drums out back?
Yes, right.
I'd like to cut that in half. Thank you. Now I can see what Gerard was saying.
I'll help you on that, Colleen. 2 months ago when they were here.
Put your mic on, Gerard.
I'm sorry, Colleen, I'll answer that for you. 2 months ago when they were in front of us, I was already out at their property, and the same drums are still sitting back there in the woods. So I don't think anybody's picking them up.
All right,
Yeah, we already contacted the contractor, I can show you a text message, and I just, ask them to pick up, right now. But sometimes they come quicker, sometimes they come, a little bit later, yeah.
Bob, if they don't get this variance, can they continue their business there?
Yes, it wouldn't affect their business. It might affect the production, but they're allowed to occupy the building still, yes.
Okay. So, but the fire department doesn't want the chemicals in the building.
What happened was, back in February, they provided a list of everything that was in question, and everything on that list was satisfactory to the fire department.
Okay.
The reason for not storing those barrels in, is that because of egress, or?
There was egress and there were some questionable chemicals, but they provided a list and that was satisfactory at the
Okay.
fire department. So yeah, there was barrels everywhere and you couldn't walk through hallways.
Right.
Rooms were
Right.
floor
So
to
there's
ceiling.
if there was a fire, there was no way for anybody to get out of the place.
Yep.
Okay. Okay.
So it's essentially a safety issue for them to store the barrels outside instead of where they're storing them inside, right? I mean,
It's a hard question because
they're
if the
taking
quantity,
one hazard and moving it from inside to outside.
if the quantity changed and they moved them back inside, it might not create a hazard
Okay.
with egress, because the chemicals are safe to be inside, from what the fire department has knowledge of with the list they provided.
Yeah, so that's the thing. They're gonna have to find, if we don't grant them variance, they're gonna have to find a way. Store them inside and not as many, and then get rid of the other ones that,
Propose a detached building or store them off-site.
right. So if they put them in, say, a storage box or boxes, then we're getting a whole nother can of worms here.
Correct.
They need other variances, and then they're storing possible potential chemicals empty in storage places. And that's fire marshal is gonna be no bueno on that as well, I would imagine.
I assume.
Yeah, so, yeah. Okay, listen, I'm just, we can't solve every problem here, so. Are you done, sir?
Yes.
Anybody from the audience like to come up for or against this project? Okay, so I'm just gonna let's get a motion and see where this goes, all right? Motion to approve or adjourn, approve or deny? What do you got?
I'll make a motion to deny.
I need a second. I'm gonna second it to deny. Call the board, please.
Gerard Lycott,
Yes.
Mark DeMarcus,
Yes.
Jim McMahon,
Yes.
Colleen Dunn,
Yes.
Ed Murphy, yes.
Mr. Lou, you're gonna have to figure this out and then get back to the township in some capacity, because it's, all right?
Okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Lewis, this is yours.
So I need a motion to adjourn, please.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Ayes have it. The zoning hearing